Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is you can leave your verbally abusive wife no matter how difficult it is. I know a long title, but the reason I term it that is it will be difficult. When you're married to a verbally abusive wife, every part of your life is already very, very, very difficult, very unpleasant. You're living in misery most of the time, and leaving her won't be a piece of cake, right? This difficult lady in your life is going to make leaving her be very, very difficult. I would recommend you go to my website, ahappierman.com, and click on the book titled Leave Your Wife and Become a Happier Man with a 3-Step System, and it's available on that ahappierman.com website. And I've got a long article kind of describing the book, and that might help you, and I hope it entices you to buy the book, but it'll start to give you an idea of what you're up against with this verbally abusive lady in your life. And yes, as a man, you're going to be very afraid of leaving your wife. There's enormous pressure on you as a man to stay married to your wife, no matter how badly she treats you, right? In this day and age, it's only the ladies who are kind of encouraged to leave their husbands. The men still aren't, no matter how bad she is. And I don't understand the logic. If for a lady your husband is bad to you, you should leave. Yes, you should leave. But why is a man encouraged to stay and stick it out when the lady is not good for him? It makes no sense. It's frankly evil, if you ask me. That kind of an attitude. You as a man, you have to start looking out for yourself. Society isn't going to look out for you. If you're religious, your church isn't going to look out for you. Nobody's going to say, hey, leave your verbally abusive wife, except me on these occasional videos and on my website. You have to take matters into your own hands. And leaving her is going to be by far the hardest thing you ever do in your life, that you ever have to do. You will not know exactly what's going to happen after you leave. You will not know how badly she's going to react. You will not know what the effect will be on your finances or your children or your career or anything. That's why it is so difficult. You know, I wish it would be easy for you. I wish it would be, well, you know, that she leaves, that's easier. But if she's the harsh one in the relationship, why would she leave, right? She gets her way. She pushes you around. She makes your life miserable. Being this way to you gives her a better life. You have to look at what will give you a better life. And what will give you a better life is leaving her. Certainly, though, I don't want to sugarcoat it. It will be difficult. After I left my wife, she persisted and consistently tried to make my life as hard as it could. It wasn't just, oh yeah, that's fine, why don't you go ahead and have a good life, ex-husband. No, it was nothing like that. In her mind, I had to stay. Even years later, she said, yeah, come back. Well, to me, that's just totally ridiculous. I had long moved on, but she could not, right? The way she treated me, that was firmly embedded in her mind that this is proper behavior, that the wife should be verbally abusive to the husband. She should push him around and get her way and however it took, however it takes. So it's been a while since I've made a video along these lines, and I've gotten some feedback on the website, and it's heartbreaking to hear the stories of verbally abused men. So I'm trying to get a little more out there in the world to kind of help push men toward trying to start to think. You got to start to think about the effect on this verbal abuse on your life. You're a shell of the man you used to be. All the dreams you've had as a younger man have been evaporated. You probably don't even know how you're going to make it through the day with her. You're going to be walking on eggshells. Over the year, you're going to find that parts of the year are just going to be so horribly miserable that you don't know how you're going to survive. And all of that horrible life can be put behind you by leaving her, by going through with the divorce, hiring the attorney, spending the money on the attorney, and getting things going in the right direction for yourself, and not assuming that it's all going to be fine immediately. Assume it's all going to be even worse afterward. But you can build, you can rebuild, you can take the months and years and decades ahead of you to make a happier man life for yourself, to create that life. And if I knew in the time when I was being verbally abused, I had no idea that my life today would be so great, that I would have more happiness than I've ever experienced in my life, that the last 10 or more years have been like a dream for me of happiness. But I didn't know that at the time. All I knew at the time was I was living in just utter misery, and I didn't deserve that. Nothing I had done made me feel like I deserved the life I was living. And I think you as a man deserve a good life, one free from verbal abuse and without misery, with some hope for a better future for yourself. And I know there are challenges. The children. Yes, I had 2 children when I left my verbally abusive wife. Around the age of, they were around 10. One was a little younger than 10. One was a little older than 10. And yes, it was extremely hard on the children. But I think what was harder on them was to see me get verbally abused by their mother. And my line of thinking was, if I'm not there, they won't see me getting abused. That they'll start to register that this isn't how life is supposed to go when you're adult. As a lady, you're not going to get away with verbally abusing a man. And then as a man, you're not going to have to stay stuck being verbally abused. That was my thinking on the children. And regarding the finances, well, my finances were shot already. I was always living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't get control of my finances with this out of control lady. Everything was in the dumpster already. What difference does it make, right? Finances are nothing. you'll be able to figure out a way, right? You can go bankrupt, you can lose your house, you can live in your car, you can beg family for a place to stay. All of that, you can live as close to as nothing as possible, and over the years you can rebuild. You can rebuild and get yourself on more solid footing, and it may take a good long while, and you may have to swallow your pride, and you may have to keep that pride swallowed for the rest of your life, like I sometimes feel like I have to do. That I'm not financially where other guys of my, that I knew are, but I am happier than I ever was. And I enjoy my life to the fullest within the capacity of the finances I do have. And I have a nice vehicle, and I have a nice apartment, and I buy the things I'd like to buy, and I travel widely, and I have a lot of fun. And probably the only thing missing is the big house in the suburbs, and another extra car, and a boat, and a multi-million-dollar retirement investment portfolio. So I would seriously, give all of this some extreme thought. You don't need tons of money to enjoy your life. If you're living with a verbally abusive woman, even if you're a multimillionaire, I just don't see how you can enjoy your life. And if you're a multimillionaire, you have plenty of money. Even if she takes 3/4 of it, you're still gonna have more than most people. And if you're living more like a normal person without huge amounts of money, you'll just have less. And eventually you'll figure it out. Eventually things will work. You'll keep working. You'll make more money. You'll pay off your bills. Things will improve. Regarding the children, I just don't think it's healthy for them to witness the verbal abuse from whoever is giving the verbal abuse and to whoever is receiving the verbal abuse. It's not good for them. And so in my case, I left the wife, the kids stayed with them most of the time. I got to see them. I would have them over. We would do things, and they would see a man not being verbally abused. I was the dad, finally getting my life together, finally showing them what a happy man should look like. And that has continued to this day. I'm on the way to see my beautiful daughter. We're going to spend the afternoon together. And she came from a broken home, but she is thriving. My son is thriving. We all three of us get along well together. A divorce doesn't mean your children are going to have a bad life. It may save their lives like it saved my children's lives. And yes, in that my wife, their mother, did turn on the kids when I wasn't there to be on the receiving end of the abuse. She did eventually turn on them, and then they both left and spent the rest of their childhoods with their teenage years with me. Now, there's no guarantee that this will happen to you. That's what happened in my case. But it all started from me leaving. With me staying, there was no way that this lady would ever stop verbally abusing me. There was no way for her to stop, right? That's how she was, and that's how it was. So I would, again, check out my website at happierman.com. Check on that book. Look for some of my other videos on verbal abuse on my YouTube channel. They may help. There's some other articles about verbal abuse. And there's also just a lot of general purpose articles about what kind of a life you can craft for yourself once you're out from under the thumb of this verbally abusive woman. So give that idea some thought. All for now.